we felt it was really important in our game plan not to let Willis or Gabriel get going, and they did what we thought early. They came out, I think Gabriel shot it 2 of the first 3 possessions, and then Willis came in and got it going, gave him some separation, and we didn't, our game plan was not to let that happen. We were willing to let the other players pretty much do what they had done. Adebayo, Fox, Monk do what they do. We just didn't want that 4th guy to really step in there. And I think John with his team has worked hard to get that guy going. And they got it going tonight. And again, I think from their vantage point, they probably got done what they wanted to get done with him. And then I thought Blake really trying to work Adebayo back in there and give them all the credit. I'm just sorry we didn't give a better game because I think we're better than we played tonight. But there's not many positives that I can take from Iron. I thought Jordan Bones for us really tried to do some things, but we had too many guys that didn't do what we expect from them.
Rick, a lot of teams have sort of tried to let Kentucky shoot from outside, but try to cut off the lanes to the basket and so on. How much better are they when they're getting threes like they were tonight?
Well, again, our key was not to let the four shoot the ball and make those shots. I mean, I don't think he's going to stop Monk from getting his on a night in and night out basis. I mean, because he's going to shoot the ball and he's going to make some tough shots. But one thing we did, you go back to our game at Knoxville, that he and Gabriel were non-factors. And that was we talked about it all week. That's what we can't allow happen, and we let it happen. And so give them credit. I think John always has a great pulse on his team, and you can tell that he's tried to get those guys going because it does make them a different team. Because now you've got a stretch, it stretches you out a little bit, and they made shots and got going, and I thought gave them some room to breathe. We had some ridiculous turnovers, and they converted those, but we were just awful, and we didn't deserve a win tonight, but we didn't do the things we talked about from a mental standpoint or a physical standpoint.
Coach, you mentioned not doing the things you talked about. I imagine, was that a kind of a red flag? Because I'm sure you talked about not leaving Monk, not leaving Willis, and those guys hit 8 3-pointers in the first half. Are you just thinking when you see that, my guys aren't ready for this?
Yeah, I think that there's no doubt it's a mental preparation to it. And again, we had one major thing, and that we talked about was that we did not want their 4 to bring them another offensive option. And we said we can't let that happen. And that was the difference in the game early. You know, him knocking down those threes, and then on the offensive end, we turned it over some ways that we normally don't. But again, it goes back. When you break down the way we did on the defensive end, it tells you that you're a step behind, both physically and mentally.
Rick, could you talk just a little bit about the Kentucky ball movement tonight, and how we would compare that with what they had played you in Knoxville?
Well, again, I thought both teams played pretty well. No, we definitely played a whole lot better there than we did tonight. But I don't think they have a problem moving the ball. I don't think that. I think where if you look at John's teams, I mean, again, I can't coach his team, but his teams get better. I think that he wants them to be better defensively. I don't think there's any question about that. But there is no doubt offensively, they want the 4 to be a big part. I mean, it's a big part of it. When you can get a 4th guy scoring the ball, and then you got a guy like Adebayo, we've got to give him attention inside. You know, we wanted to double him early because he hurt us so poorly there. But with that said, we weren't willing to come off Willis to do that, and our guys do that. When we double, we have rotations out of it, and but it makes a big difference when they've got 4 guys on the floor that can. We ended up with 16 points, something like that. And again, you go back to our game in Knoxville, I think Monk got his average. I think Fox pretty much had his numbers. Adebayo had a great game, but their 4 did not. And that was the difference in the 2 games. And we got down and didn't handle it very well, just didn't get the stops, didn't finish some defense. We had a couple really good defensive where they got us scrambled, where I still thought we got back in position, but and that's where I thought Fox did a great job with the ball in back up in his hand, and the late clock, he got the ball where he wanted.
Rick, I think this is about maybe the fourth time in the past 5 games Roberts struggled to sort of get going. Is it something that he needs to do better, or something the guys around him need to do better?
You've got to have a much better, I mean, they went right at him at the start of the second half. We came out, I think that we turned it over, if I remember right, 2 out of the first 3 times we had the ball, but then they just went to work on him down low. And it's one thing down there, but he didn't make the effort that he has to. I mean, he let Briscoe just score on 2 easy times down there, where he just, I think I'll be shocked looking at it. I think he caught it in the circle, the charge circle, or he ended up in there. And Robert's better than that. And that's why we took him out in seventh, because we came out of the locker room knowing that we could have gotten back in the game. There's no doubt we could have, but we didn't. Because you're not going to get back in the game when you're down if you don't get some stops, and you can't give them that many easy ones like we did.
Rick, I wonder if this was something of an aberration for your guys to play this poorly. And do you minutely dissect this with them, or do you sort of kind of set it aside as just a strange?
Well, I don't. That's a great question, a great point. I do think it's the worst we played this year when you look at it, and I think there's a lot of reasons that I can look at, and I've already let those guys know how I feel about it. But the bottom line is, we got 5 games left. I think we got a chance to win all 5 of them, but we have to do it. But if we play like this night, we won't win any of them. And I've said before, I think this league is a much better basketball league than people give it credit for right now. I don't know if there's a team in the league playing. I mean, Florida's playing at such a high level. You know, John's teams are going to keep getting better and doing that. Frank Martin, Georgia. I mean, we played Georgia, and I'm telling you, they're a really good basketball team. But we put ourselves in a position that probably no one thought we would be in the start of the season, which is good. And for our young players, they've got to decide right now how big of a slice of the pie they want. And it's there, but this time of year, I think you got to take a win, learn from it, move on. You got to take a loss, and learn from it, move on too. You can't let it linger. And if you do that, those long losing streaks start happening. And but we've got to have a better effort, both mentally and physically. More important.
Coach, can you just talk about the guard play you got outside of Jordan? The other 4 guys that played were 2 for 18 from the field. How much did that hurt you?
Bowden had a tough night. You know, I thought he missed a layup early, and he missed a couple shots he normally makes. But he fights, he plays, and all this is new for him. But he's going to be a terrific player. We know that. Shambari got to the rim, but he's got to learn. Just getting there is one thing. He's got to learn how to finish it. Lamonte was in the game, and they went right at him as well. So there's going to be some good days ahead, and we keep talking about. We've had some nights when we made 16, not many, but we have threes, but that's not the guard play. To me, it's our inside guys tonight. We count on Grant, we count on Robert heavily to do their job night in and night out, and Grant started the game where we knew they would double him through a pass that I'm not sure anybody could have called. Kyle kept it from going out of bounds. He kept making it much harder than it had to be on himself down there. Again, we just got to bounce back, and I'll be real disappointed, because I think this is going to show what kind of character we have as a competitor, and it's going to show what kind of leadership we have with this group. And so it's going to be, from my point of view and our coaching staff, we got a young team, and they're going to be together for a while for the most part. So this is going to be a great challenge for them coming down the stretch.
Rick, you mentioned Grant getting doubled. You mentioned Grant getting doubled. I guess how much of his development is adjusting